All right, time for some action.
That's all you've got?
Another boring bandit? Honestly, you guys reproduce like bunnies or
Show me how
something.
brave you are.
Ha!
You think you stand a chance? Come on, show me how brave you are. I'm not afraid of you.
To your heart sound. Or maybe your neck? I'm feeling generous.
You will be so dead. Shoot her. I'll smash her head.
Yes, please! Do keep screaming in pain. That makes the fight that much more fun.
Well, that's how it's done.
Well, now, this isn't looking good.
What a savage place, Sky. Speaking with you, I do not serve as a pack mule. That's employees to do's job.
There's something I'd like to talk to you about. Have you got a minute? There's something I'd like to talk to you about.
Beautiful
Have you
flowers
got a
and trees
minute?
are really nice and refreshing. Gives a nice change from all
Anesia
that
needs
time
to
before
find a
when I had to
mushroom, a
walk across
blood-dripping
barren,
crown.
war-ridden wastelands.
It looks very similar to bleeding crown, but this one is very, very rare. I have been looking for it everywhere, but I can't seem to find one. However, Anesia mentions an alternate but dangerous way to get a sample. There is a necromancer's hideout called Boulderfall cave, not far from Riften. Anesia writes that the necromancers in there have been collecting and cultivating the blood-dripping crowns for their experiments. Maybe we could find a sample there. I know it is dangerous, and I don't suggest we should go there at once, but maybe we could go there one of these days. I really need this ingredient. So, where are we going now? Yes? Of course. So, where are we going now?
Do you shout such trivial demands?
Shoot, sorry. The recorder's acting up again. Stupid thing.
I fought worse than you. Tell you what, you start running so I can stab you in the back. Worse than you. I fought worse than you. Skin you up.
Time for you to die. Victory. Now.
will be so dead. We are a good team, don't you think so? We are a good team, don't you think so? Strange.
Sorry, was looking at my files.
My mission does reluctantly I shall.
Is one there?
Record 5D66. Dragon spotted the enemy and it started spreading towards. Hey! Hey, wait for me!
Don't you even try.
Yes, please! Do keep screaming in pain. That makes the fight that much more fun.
Uh-oh. Look over there. That's a bandit. What was that? Hello. Who's that? How weird.
I can take you as your accursed.
I guess I can include a few more for the Annihilation records.
You're quite good with that bow.
Record 5D66. Dragonlord has spotted the enemy and has started spreading towards. Hey! Hey, wait for me!
Don't you even try.
Yes, please! Do keep screaming in pain.
Just
that
leave.
makes the fight that much more fun.
You must be tired. Shouldn't you take a break soon? Of course. Anytime. Oh, I'm sorry.
Speaking with you is not in my schematics. I do not serve as a pack mule. That's employees to do's job.
Record 6E21. Currently, we are inside a fort filled with bandits or something else much more scarier that wants to kill us. Impending doom, 100%.
Care of that?
I know, I get a little crazy when I fight, but hey, it's good exercise in action. Might as well enjoy it, no?
I'm proud of what we've managed to accomplish.
The Boulderfall cave. Oh, I do hope we can find a blood-dripping crown
look, a
here.
cave. Wonder what's inside.
Oh,
What is the meaning of war? Is it an opportunity for triumph, or evidence of our greatest failure? Ours is to vanquish the unliving, but is that the true path? Is our way, our world, something worth saving?
I don't like the look of this place. Oh, I really do hope we find a blood-dripping crown mushroom here.
Answer my query, and I will tell you if wars have any meaning. Then perhaps all is not lost and our path is true, if people still hold on to hope. Divines, forgive me for my doubt. In the world's darkest hour, and mine, I did not expect to find a friend. For the last 2 years, I have embarked on a single road. Ours was to walk its twists and turns, overcome its many obstacles. All the while believing that if I followed it to the end, I would find redemption. Only it appears the road ends
Thoughts
here,
record? Well,
in
Dragonborn,
this
I'm sure there's
hollow
lots of things in there that just want to tear
with the
our hearts
corpse of the child I was
But you're the
asked
boss.
to save. It was rumored that the child left for Eastmarch to join the Stormcloaks.
I'm right behind.
In defiance of the father's alignment with the Empire. For a lord's house, the truth was far more incriminating. And one far more heartbreaking. Thus the Lord could not trust anyone, save an Argonian prisoner. One guilty of the child's same crime. Vampirism. Yes, the skin, eyes, and fangs are telltale signs. But some men can't be sure the same is true for other races. I was staying at an inn near the border when one of the local Nords decided to take offense with my presence. His was to challenge me to a brawl, and when I refused, he accused me of being a vampire. The word was toxic. That morning, 2 bodies were found outside, torn to shreds. Unrecognizable masses, if not for the bones and teeth. Things were tense around the village, and the gods were in a hurry to solve the case and placate the locals. I made an easy scapegoat. Locked in that cell for days, I began to starve. Not for blood, but for food. Theirs was to offer me bread in exchange for a confession. It was better to die by the axe than starvation, but few can stomach either. So I did what all mortals do when there is no logical escape. I prayed. To Julianos for temperance, to Stendar for mercy, to Mara for love. And when I awoke the next morning, my cage was gone, as was my hunger.
See anything useful?
Not quite. But they granted me the resolve to persevere, so that I could give those who would aid me time to arrive. This is how the Divines act. Not through direct force, but through a subtle nudge, an encouraging word, or a favorable wind. The night before, I was paid a visit by a man, his face shrouded by the hood of his robe. In his arms he cradled an urn, filled with the dust of a vampire. The dust was to be scattered around my cell, as proof of my demise. I knew not how much coin he had passed to my jailers, but it was enough to carry on with the ruse. Outside the barracks, a carriage awaited us both. It took us to a nearby chateau, where I would meet my true employer. When they brought me before the House Lord, I told him I did not kill those men. He told me he already knew. The real murderer was his own kin. He asked me if it was true about vampires, if they formed clans, family. He wanted to know if I knew where his daughter had fled. I told him no, but I could find her. After all, I was a hunter, a member of the Order of the Virtuous Blood. So I told him why I came to Skyrim and my desire for penance. Then he made an offer. A second chance for him, his daughter, and for me. Before coming to Skyrim, I had spent my life hunting vampires for the Order. Much like the Vigilants, we often hunted in pairs. My partner was a Nightblade named Arlas. He used stealth and shadow to eliminate our targets, while I covered him from a distance. His was a remarkable courage. Many in the Order prefer long-range attacks to avoid the chance of infection. Arlas never deterred from his methods. Courage alone, however, was not enough to prepare us for what lay in that den nearly 4 winters ago. I watched Arlas scout ahead from afar, melding to the shadows in search of the enemy. The den was for all intents and purposes empty, yet the center table showed not a fleck of dust, and the torches on the wall were recently lit. A shiver swam up my tail like a cold fish. But I knew Arlas was safe so long as he stuck to the shadows. Until I saw the shadows themselves move. The shadow spread its wings, as did the others, cloaking the room in darkness. They came. Like bats descending on their prey. Ours was to call to my friend and reach for my staff, trying to shield his escape with fire. We barely made it out alive, but not unscathed. One of those foul demons had raked its talons across Arlas' back. All I had to do was look into his narrowing pupils to see the infection had taken root.
Dragonborn, does whatever a dragon can.
Ours was to ask for his last request.
I don't think.
He said, "Cure me." I thought it was a joke. He always made me laugh. Now I know the extent of my folly. Months later, I discovered his journal while putting away his things. It seems he had anticipated infection from the moment he joined the Order. He had been corresponding with a mage named Valion. A mage who was studying a cure. yours is a statement that I am thankful for. Perhaps, as the Divines work in the shadows, there is a greater purpose to be found. I thought Harla's death brought me to Skyrim to save the nobleman's daughter. Now I wonder if they have brought me here to meet you. Theirs is a centuries-old order, dating back to the Oblivion Crisis. It began as merely a gathering of feeble lords, until the Divines intervened. Legends say the hero of Kvatch became a member, and trained the Order in the ways of combat. That knowledge was passed down from old members to new, and over time, the Order became more organized, and its rituals more austere. Today, members are handpicked and trained from a young age. Ours was a life cloistered in barracks and libraries, sharpening the weapons of war. We dedicated our lives to a single purpose: to silence all other voices, so that we are better attuned to listen. Vampire dens have always been notoriously easy to track. Theirs is to cling to the fringes of a major hold, close to the road where traders pass. That is where a runaway vampire would seek shelter amongst her kind. This one, however, had spent her entire life in the care of her noble parents. Hers was to run to where no one else could find her. The caves and nooks where darker forces wish to carry on unseen.
By the way, isn't it time for dinner yet?
It was a hunch, but with nary a lead, ours was to rely on chance. So I listened for rumors of necromancy first, and vampires second. There was an argument at the Bee and Barb about some nefarious activity near Shore Stone. Some claimed it was black mages, others said vampires. Ours was to follow the lead here, to Boulderfall Cave. One could only pray to Arcade that our arrival was not too late. Ours is to agree with your assessment. If only the child herself shared that same concern. I had expected to find a girl frightened, ashamed, her face peaked from the ordeal. Hers was not.
What's on your mind?
One of the bodies that lies here was once
Of course, sir.
the kin of a noble.
Is there anything else you need?
My old friend Arlas had a saying. Sickness is a virtue. The healthier a vampire was, the more often he had fed.
You're looking very heroic today. Off to really.
Hers was an
And here I thought you can actually lift. Just kidding. Here, I'll help you out. All right, we'll talk later then.
Including the unfitting necromancers that took her on as an apprentice. Someday, I will return to that village and tell her father a lie. It is not one that can be told right away. I will tell him She was a sweet girl who ran to protect him. A girl who laughed, who danced, and who loved. A girl who sought a cure, and in the absence of one, took her own life. Ours is to tell him she achieved everything we hope to out of life in a quarter of the time. It was a question that was asked of me whenever I began to doubt my faith or the side I have chosen in this fight. Ours is a life consumed by blood. I have lost family to wars great and small. Wars on the battlefield and in the mind. Wars blur the lines of morality, until we know not whether victory is a triumph of the spirit, or a failure to be civil. Only as members of the Order of the Virtuous Blood, ours was a resolve that could not waver, even when our foes wore the faces of children. What is the meaning of war? It is to fight for a cause that is absolute, against an evil that deserves no clemency. If sanguine vampiris is merely a disease, one that can be cured, then my faith is once more cast into doubt. Ours was a childhood race to do one thing: hunt vampires. I know of no other life. Then I thank you once more for your counsel. It is difficult to know if the decisions one makes are right without another set of eyes. I fear that my training with the Order would influence my decision. That I would think only of the easy way. To kill rather than cure. When I was young, my mentor told me a tale of the peasant who found a stray cat living in the alley behind his house. His was to bemoan its presence, but weeks later, he found that the cat kept his home free of vermin. The peasant grew quite fond of the cat, until one day it bit his leg and infected the man with a terrible fever. The peasant, who had never been ill a day in his life, finally went to see the city alchemist, whom he had stubbornly avoided all these years. It was love at first sight. But who is to say how the peasant would feel the next day? All he could do is take that chance. I wish to follow you on your quest. I do not know to what end, but ours is to trust in the will of the Divines. Ours is to wait here for more of her brethren. The girl may have taken a liking to some of them, and chosen to infect rather than kill. If you're in need of a companion, however, I will be honored to journey with you on your quest. Yours is to lead, ours is to follow.
And here we stand at yet another cave. Reflecting on previous records, we're going to enter this dark, dangerous, and suicidal cave, I assume.
Finally, a blood-dripping crown. Well, it really looks blood-dripping. But hopefully it will be very useful for Anesia. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Shall we continue?
Yours is to pass, and ours is to delight. Then let us trade, and let us both prosper from the outcome. Let the light illuminate the shadow.
Someone's gonna get hurt.
Where did you come from?
You don't scare me.
The last.
Okay, what is it with these wooden shields? I don't want to burn up again like I did back in Death Mountain, let alone Dragon Fires.
I've been looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only. Let's see here. Looks like that's it. Got to go.
Everything was going great in Red Belly. Then the damn spiders showed up. Mining iron takes a lot of strength and special reinforced tools. I must have broken 5 or 6 pickaxes in the last few months alone. But now that I've got Rock Splinter here, I can cut through stone like a hot knife through butter. Fortune to you and your children.
You're looking at the best miner in Skyrim. Damn place is filled with this reddish mist. Can't see more than 10 feet in front of your face. But when you can sniff out a vein of iron like me, it isn't too much trouble. May the road favor the foolish.
I think I need something to drink.
Would you happen to be headed towards Darkwater Crossing? My parents live there. I usually make the journey to bring them gifts and to just say hello, but I haven't been well lately. I've written some letters and placed them in a satchel. Perhaps you wouldn't mind delivering it to them on my behalf? You would? Well then, I would insist on rewarding you for your time. Here, take my satchel and give it to my father, Werner. He'll likely have something for you to bring back. I had a bad fall in the mine when I was bringing some food to the men. I was pretty bad off for a while. But a priest of Mara was passing through on his way to Dawnstar and healed me to the best of his abilities. I'm still pretty sore and I can't really walk too far without having to rest for a while. I might be a woman, but I can crack rock with the best of them. Be careful in there. You can take a nasty spill. Darkwater Crossing is a difficult journey. Mind yourself.
I hope you haven't arrived here looking for work in the mine. Sure, it's full of spiders. That's what's wrong with it. Almost killed Grogmar and me when they showed up. I'm worried that they'll come out of the mine looking for food soon. Then we're in even bigger trouble. Yeah, they're as useless as a fifth wheel on a wagon. Gave me some sort of line about keeping an eye out for enemy soldiers. What's the point in protecting this place if the mine's completely useless? Idiots. Tell you what, keep to your word, and I'll line your pockets with as much as I can scrape up. Moved right in and made themselves at home. Did it overnight. I'm not even sure exactly where they came from. No one's been hurt yet, and they seem to be staying in the mine. But who knows how long that will last. If we can't get back into the mine, our town is sunk. Red Belly Mine gets its name from the red mist filling the place. You get used to it after a while. Kind of smells like the hot springs out in the tundra. No idea what's causing it, though. It's about time. I sent them a letter weeks ago. Ah, that Elgrim. He'd forget his own pants if his wife didn't help him dress. Here you go. Tell Half-Yord that she can chip off whatever she thinks is a fair trade for their time. Red Belly is supposed to be nothing but an iron mine. Been working it for years. Then, right before the spiders had moved in, we found that chunk of ore. Never seen anything like it. I want to know what I'm dealing with before I start tearing it out of the ground. I don't want to be responsible for sending you to your death. Be careful in the mine.
My mission does not involve speaking with unimportant factors, namely you. Ha ha, weakling. Ha ha.
You're looking at the best miner in Skyrim. One day we were cracking rocks in the deepest part of the mine, and the next day they were all over the place. I'd give my eye teeth if it meant getting those damn spiders out of the mine. I'll buy everything you've dug up. Good hunting.
Everything was going great in Red Belly. Then the damn spiders showed up. Fortune to you and your children.
I trust my parents are well. Darkwater Crossing is a difficult journey. Mind yourself.
Protocol to eradicate enemy engaged. The killing commenced.
That it? That your best? I'm not afraid of spiders. Did you hear that noise? Must have been a spider. You're good. I wish I could use a bow.
How much farther do we have to run? I should have worked on my cardio.
My mission affirmative.
Nasty little buggers, aren't they? Gone? Every one of them? Why, that's incredible. Finally, we can reopen the mine and put Shore's stone back on the map. Here, please accept this gift as a token of our gratitude. Keep safe.
Is someone there? Of course. Hello, friend. Of course. Malakath, watch over you.
You think you're tough, huh? Wandering Skyrim is a picnic compared to tunnel crawling. Fortune to you and your children.
Maybe we could play a game? Like rock, paper, scissors?
Not now.
I don't know. Maybe some other time.
bright side, at least this place has more structure than caves. On the dark side, it's still filled with a lot of things that want to kill us.
In a way, giants are nice people. They even have pets. Fascinating. Now that we are here, let's look around for the Khajiit bard who has my flute. Strange.
My money's on the big one. Hey! Release me! You'll pay for that!
And it starts spreading towards the snake. Get away from me!
Give that bow.
I don't think we've seen one decent cat in our travels. Okay, Khajiits and saber monsters don't count. Sorry, was looking at my files.
Can I help you?
If you're looking for a bed, this is the wrong place. Of course not. You expect me to take care of it by myself? My niece Svana helps me with the chores. She'd be more help if she kept her head out of the clouds. She's been with me ever since her parents were killed by bandits and she was dropped in my lap. This heap of matchsticks is what everyone calls Helga's bunkhouse. Can you stay here? No. The bunkhouse is for the working man, not some sort of luxury inn for tourists. There's a college in Winterhold that teaches magic. It's very secretive though, and you know how people hate secrets. The Jarl's Court wizard was taught there. That one's full of secrets. What? How? Where did you get these? No, don't tell me. I don't want to know. Look, we need to keep this quiet, between you and me, okay? No one else needs to know about it. If word got out that I'm practicing my Debellan arts in Riften, they'll run me out of town. Here, take this and don't mention a word of this to anyone, especially Svana.
Maybe Maven will take
I don't know
advantage
why I
of
bother.
something pure, refreshing, bottled water. I mean, she's been monopolizing on something vital to living.
Heard any news lately?
You know I can't tell you that. As soon as I do, you have a few meats in you, everyone will know.
Alright. They say that diamonds are a girl's best
Cities
friend.
like this,
but I'd
it is
still
easy
say
to
that a
lose
girl's
trust.
best friend is a good
It was my
cause.
wife who taught me there was a
It would
fine
seem so.
line between guarding yourself and being guarded.
Mjol is quite nice, but she does talk a lot, doesn't she? With her around, I hardly get a chance to say a word.
Any luck getting the marks from those men? Oh, I know. Isn't it wonderful? I bet she squirmed like a skeever when you pulled them out of your pocket. I think things are going to be a lot different around here from now on. And I have you to thank for it. Here, I want you to have this. It was my father's, but I'm certain you'll put it to good use. Farewell.
Someone there? Of course. I'm kind of busy, but if you need any potions or ingredients, Let me know.
Have you managed to make it out to Shore's stone? Thank you. I'll be sure to get Elgrim to examine this as soon as his busy schedule allows. Here, I had him make you a few things for all that travel. Ah, so you're an alchemist then. Don't forget us if you need supplies for your journey.
My mission does not involve speaking with unimportant factors.
Quite honestly, really sad.
I do not serve as a pack mule. That's employees to do's job.
Thanks again for delivering that ore sample. Ah, so you're an alchemist then? Don't forget us if you need supplies for your journey.
Oh.
What's on your mind? Here's everything I have. Let's get going then.
This place has seen better days, but it's not my fault. So you're interested in my potions and ingredients? Don't forget us if you need supplies for your journey.
You here for lessons like Ingen? Take a look. Yes, goodbye.
Oh.
I can pay you.
How's the newcomer look?
Greetings. Oh yes, Racine has the best flute in all of Skyrim. It is made of Cyrodiil dogwood and is very precious. Will Sarah listen to the flute? Sarah? It is my flute. I have bought it in Solstheim from a fine Nord man. I had paid for it with my own money. Well, almost. So, how can anyone say that the flute does not belong to Racine? Sarah? It cannot be true. The man looked very honorable. Ah, it is true, isn't it? Racine has been fooled. Yes, Racine could feel that in his bones. The flute does not belong to
They
Racine.
say brawl fights at an
Therefore,
inn only
it
create
will not
chaos
play
and
the way
disturbance for the
Racine
place.
wants it
I
to
say
play.
it builds character. Plus, everyone's always
So,
applauding music.
tell me,
Strange as
who
it
is the owner of the flute? Ah, it belongs to your friend. Yes, Racine can feel that this is a girl's flute, not a man's flute. And Racine is a gentleman who wouldn't want to upset a pretty girl or her grandmother. Well, that is not possible. A bard needs to have a flute to play, and Racine hasn't got another flute. There was a flute, but it is gone. No, no, that wouldn't do. Racine wants his old flute. Oh, it is a sad, sad tale. Racine should have listened to his mother, who always said gambling is bad. But Racine didn't listen. Racine wanted to play put a tail on a donkey with a little wooden fellow and his big Nord friend. And Racine lost. Racine had no money, so instead Racine gambled with the old flute. It now belongs to the little wooden fellow. Ooh, then Racine would be very happy. Then Racine no longer needs the new flute. Then you may buy it. Because Racine has paid for it. Racine didn't know it was stolen. Sarah, Racine has paid 500 gold for the flute. Sarah, that is very kind. Racine's old flute is a very good flute. You must then find the little wooden fellow and his big Nord friend. They said we're going to River.
Who'd want to get married in Riften?
You might
It
want
would
to
be
ask
a
around
miracle if
there.
the groom can make it to the altar without
Where
having
you
his ring
walk,
or his wife
or in the
stolen.
sand.
It's so nice to just talk a little, you and I. I was just thinking, would you be interested if I told you a little about myself? As I told you, I left Solstheim soon after my grandmother had passed away. I took a ship from Raven Rock to Dawnstar. On the ship I met some nice bards, a storyteller, and a red god who was fantastic at playing the lute. He promised he would give me lessons, but, well, to tell the truth, I'm the worst landlubber ever. And very soon I got really seasick. I spent most of my time at sea with my head very close to a bucket. It wasn't very pleasant. And I, who always used to dream about being a sailor. When we arrived in Dawnstar, the bards just disappeared. Well, to be honest, first we spent an evening at the inn, where we had quite a few beer. I think I taught them how to dance on the table the way we do in Solstheim, but I'm not sure. I'm afraid I can't remember that part so well. Anyway, when I woke up the morning after, they were gone. And the innkeeper seemed to think that it would be a good idea if I left as well. To be honest, sometimes I don't understand the Skyrim Nords. They never seem to dance on the tables or have any fun at all. No wonder they all look so depressed and bitter. You should see the folks back home after a schnapps or four. They really know how to dance on a table. Well, I can play a little, but I don't own a lute. Maybe if one day I could afford to buy one. But I still would need lessons. Who knows? Maybe we will run into the Red Card Bard one of these days. And then maybe he could teach me.
Racine will write a poem in its honor.
Talk later. A little wood elf fellow and his big Nord friend. Doesn't that somehow sound familiar?
wonder why the humans have so little
Glad
love.
to see you finally came to your senses.
Very cold here.
Houston, speaking with order confirmed.
Let's hurry to Riverwood. Who knows, maybe that wooden fellow would lose that fruit on gambling just as easily as he won it.